Hello and welcome to Nutrition Insights interview series. My name is Vinay Patel and I'm a senior journalist. And today I'm joined by Dr. Lindsay Sumners, who is the Director of Creation, Design, and Development, including health and wellness and also pet and animal well-being. And alongside her, we have Colton Clayson, who is the Senior Marketing Manager for Pet Nutrition at ADM. And today we will discuss alternative proteins in pet food, fun and healthy treating, as well as microbiome support for tailored well-being. So both of you, thank you so much for joining us. I have prepared some questions and let's start with alternative proteins. So there's currently a growing momentum behind their use in pet food and it's often framed around sustainability. So my question is, how does ADM evaluate the nutritional quality and bioavailability of these proteins compared to traditional meat?
Yeah, I can certainly take that one. So the quick answer is research. ADM is investing quite a bit in research on alternative proteins. Of course, they are looked at as a substitute for for animal proteins, excuse me. And so we have to make sure that they are nutritious and safe for pets to consume. When it comes to like plant and yeast-based proteins, we've completed quite a few research studies in partnership with the University of Illinois to evaluate the nutritional value of these non-animal protein sources. The findings are really intended to help the pet food industry understand how these alternative proteins can be used effectively to meet the nutritional requirements of dogs and cats. So we look at things like compositional analysis, measuring protein, fat, fiber, and energy content to understand that baseline nutritional contribution of each ingredient. But of course, we also look at amino acid profiling, since dogs and cats require those specific essential amino acids across protein ingredients. And then we employ a modified DIAAS or DS-like method, which is more precise than older metrics like PDCAAS to calculate that amino acid availability. So through this research, we identify which alternative proteins meet or even exceed the amino acid requirements of dogs and cats, and which have limiting amino acids requiring the addition of those complementary ingredients. Our findings with Versity dried yeast was found to contain no limiting amino acids, making it a very high quality protein. Whereas pea protein and like soy flakes were found to be limited in methionine or tryptophan, so they'll need to be combined with other proteins to offer those complete nutrition requirements. So the research we were happy to see found that dogs and cats are able to digest and absorb plant-based protein sources such as soy, just as well as other proteins. And then another alternative protein that we're very excited about would be insect protein. And we've also partnered with the University of Illinois as well as InnovaFeed to determine the nutritional aspects. And the research demonstrated that black soldier fly larvae based protein is substitute. Excuse me. The results demonstrated that black soldier fly larvae protein is a suitable substitute for chicken meal in dog foods, both in terms of protein quality and macronutrient digestibility.
Right. And so sustainability seems to be often assumed, but it's a lot more complex. And so how sustainable are ADM's alternative proteins when looking at the full cycle? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course. It varies by ingredient, but we're of course paying attention to each ingredient individually. So, for example, black soldier fly larvae from InnovaFeed where ADM is the exclusive North American distributor. Um, they use a industrial symbiosis production model to improve circularity in the supply chain. Um, and we also partner with major brands on regenerative agriculture. So that supports farmers in Iowa, Minnesota, and Nebraska using these regenerative practices um, for things like cover crops, no-till, fertilizer efficiency programs, efficient herbicide, pesticide use, things like that. So the goal is to deliver benefits like increased yields, but also lower greenhouse gas emissions through reduction in carbon sequestration. Um, we also completed a life cycle assessment on Versity yeast protein with an evaluation of the current production processes and description of our plans to lower the carbon footprint of Versity through enhanced biogenic and fossil CO2 emission, carbon capture and storage, improvements in our plant efficiency and energy sources, as well as regenerative agriculture. So we're intending to make that particular ingredient even more sustainable in the future.
Right. And going on to another topic, treating for pets is really booming right now, and the lines between the food, fun, and functions are also increasingly blurring. So, how do you balance palatability with nutritional integrity in treats? So, because especially owners are tending to humanize their pets.
Yeah. Well, taste and nutrition don't necessarily have to be at odds. But there are, of course, multiple factors that influence pet food palatability, including the protein and fat sources, as well as the palatants that are used. But what we're finding through palatability studies is that ingredients like black soldier fly larvae, protein, and oil typically perform as well as or better than other protein sources. So BSFL has kind of a nutty aroma that pets seem to quite enjoy. But other wholesome ingredients like barley, flaxseed, blueberries in baked treats can provide pets with the flavor and as well as the kind of healthy nature of those types of wholesome ingredients, and of course, definitely align with the humanization trend. Um, but we are also focusing on interesting flavor combinations for humanization. So, focusing on popular human flavors like pumpkin spice or ingredients like carob that can be that safe replacement for chocolate, as well as a variety of fruit flavors and aromas. And we have one particular supplement format that works very well for humanization, which is our cold extruded soft chew supplements. And due to that lack of heat, the products can support flavors and aromas that directly are influenced by the ingredients.
Mhm.
So things like dragon fruit or mint or even barbecue sauce. The overall the treating experience, whether it's a treat or a supplement, is an opportunity for those pet parents to bond with their cats and dogs.
Right. And do you think this trend shapes industry formulation for better or for worse?
Well, I think for better, when it comes to supplements, in particular, you have those functional benefits included, of course, but you want to give that supplement in a way that the pet enjoys and could create that bonding experience, that fun experience for the human and the pet. So I think consumers are going to continue to look to unique supplement formats for not just the health benefits and functional ingredients, but also for the fun and exciting experience of treating.
Right. And so this also raises a deeper question about how we talk about pet wellness. It's kind of easy to project human needs, like the flavors that you mentioned, onto animals, but biologically their needs can differ. So how does ADM navigate this tension between, consumer-driven trends and also the species-specific nutrition science?
Yeah, it's a great question. We see quite a few human brands in the supplement space interested in moving into pet. And one of the initial discussions we usually have is that, pet needs, they do differ from human needs. So not every single popular human supplement is going to translate well into pet. But we've done an extensive amount of consumer research to understand, what are the top health concerns of pet owners? And those include things like healthy aging and general wellness, joint health and mobility, dental and oral health, skin, coat health, and digestive health. So functional ingredients can help address those concerns, provided they are solutions backed by scientific evidence, and that shows that they are truly effective for pet health. Um, Supplement developments for pet have traditionally relied on extrapolating data from human studies based on the assumption that similar effects will be seen across species. But here at ADM, we're committed to creating those targeted wellness products for dogs and cats, and then validating their efficacy through clinical trials, specifically in canines and felines.
Yeah, okay. And zooming into gut health, the microbiome space is expanding really fast right now. So, what scientific evidence is supporting the pre and the pro and postbiotic ingredients that ADM includes in its formulations?
Yeah, I can go ahead and take that one. I think that's one of the things that really sets ADM apart is that, we are highly investing in clinical trials and, different scientific partnerships to really evaluate the efficacy of our microbiome ingredients, in the target species. So in cats and dogs, we really want to make sure that we want to ensure that they're delivering kind of those measurable benefits in specific targeted health areas. So things like digestive health, metabolic health, and even oral health. So talking a little bit about some of our recent clinical trials. So we actually had a recently published clinical trial that was conducted in dogs. And they were supplemented with our heat-treated postbiotic, which is a Bifidobacterium animalis subspecies lactis. So this is our Priome branded metabolic health ingredient. So we offer this in both a probiotic and a postbiotic. And so both of those formats were tested in the clinical trial. And so one of the major findings of that study was that dogs supplemented with the postbiotic version actually had lower blood glucose after eating a normal meal compared to placebo supplemented dogs. And this was during a weight loss phase. So, metabolic health is a really important factor for things like longevity and quality of life, particularly as, over half of the dogs within the US are actually, estimated to be, overweight or obese. As dogs continue to live longer and share kind of more of our dietary and activity patterns, there is the risk of kind of developing, some of those chronic lifestyle associated conditions. And then another one of our clinical trials recently was actually showing support for oral and dental health through modulation of the canine oral microbiome rather than mechanical action. So this was a clinical study that was conducted in dogs with our heat-treated Lactobacillus plantarum. So this is our Priome oral care postbiotic. And so this has been shown to support healthy teeth and gums. This was kind of demonstrated both by preclinical testing and also the clinical study that was conducted in dogs. And that was actually just published a couple weeks ago in the journal Animals. And
Yeah.
then in terms of gut health, we actually have another clinical study, and this was done in cats. And so that's really great for our cat owners. And so this was looking at our prion gut health in combination with fibersol, which is a soluble dietary fiber. And so that study showed kind of demonstrated support for gastrointestinal health. This promoted, a balanced microbiome, and then also kind of fostering, growth of those beneficial gut bacteria.
Very interesting. Um, and with also personalized nutrition gaining ground, is ADM exploring breed, age, or condition-specific microbiome support, or are most solutions still generalized across species?
Yes, I mean we're very much committed to, studying kind of any potential benefits, of our functional ingredients, in cats and dogs. We're really interested in supporting kind of the development of those species specific solutions, with scientifically substantiated health claims. In addition to kind of some of the targeted areas that we previously talked about, we're also exploring biotic solutions to support things like balanced behavior, skin health, mobility, immunity. There's a variety of kind of different health indications, in companion animals. Um, I think another area that's, a topic that's popular is just healthy aging and longevity focus solutions. So that's kind of another key area for, today's pet parents. We see that pet parents are taking kind of that more proactive and a more holistic approach to pet care. We actually had conducted some recent market research, and we found that about 79% of global pet parents are actually willing to spend money on kind of proactive care, and that allows them to reduce the risk of kind of those larger expenses later on. So it's really something that we're seeing that pet parents are interested in.
Right. And so thank you so much today, Lindsay and Colton, for sharing your insights and walking us through the latest trends on our companion species well-being.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much for having us.